Today we're gonna see how many meals we can get out of a 1 kilogram bag of dried chickpeas. A couple of months ago, I was recommended a video that was titled along the lines of how many meals can I get from one whole chicken? Now, I'm always curious about more budget-friendly and frugal ways of eating, but I do prefer my meals not to include any carcasses. So I wanted to make my own version of this concept. Introducing how many meals we can make out of this 1 kilogram bag of dried chickpeas. This is a terrible prop to have, by the way, because it's making an awful lot of noise. Spoiler alert, you can actually get more meals at a cheaper price using chickpeas than if you are using chicken. So in this video we are going to look at how to prepare our dried chickpeas, how many cups worth we will get. Then I'll do a quick little price comparison between buying the canned variety and the dried variety. And finally I'm going to show you 6 recipes that you can use your chickpeas in. Let's talk quickly about price and see whether it's cheaper going through the effort of preparing your own chickpeas. I picked this bag up from Tesco's for £3.10. I'm gonna put this down now and hope it doesn't make too much noise. If we compare this to our standard can of cooked chickpeas, these typically contain 1.5 cups worth of chickpeas. With the Aldi price match, you can find them in any UK supermarket for 49p. But from the bag that we prepared earlier, we actually got 15 cups worth, i.e. 10 of these. So that would have been £4.90, and instead we are paying £3.10. So that is a £1.80 saving just there. And then as an added bonus, we only have to recycle the 1 plastic bag instead of 10 of these. First up, we are going to make chickpea tuna, or tuna. This is a super quick and easy thing that you can meal prep and have throughout the week in things like sandwiches, on top of a baked potato, or as part of something like a vegan salad niçoise. In a bowl, we are going to add 1.5 cups of lightly mashed chickpeas, some red onion, a shredded sheet of nori, capers, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, soy sauce, lemon juice and cider vinegar, and then some mustard and vegan mayo. Then we're simply going to give this all a good mix and we're done. Granted, this is not the prettiest looking sandwich filling, but it is very tasty. Next up, we are making a vegan version of a recipe that went viral a few months back. Me Chickpeas. This was a very quick to throw together, comforting weeknight dinner. We're gonna start by sauteing a lot of garlic, then adding some chopped up sun-dried tomatoes and a mix of oregano, chili flakes, salt and pepper. To this we will add about 3 cups worth of our chickpeas, some vegetable broth, tomato paste and some form of vegan cream. I'm using Oatly's single cream. And then a bunch of baby spinach. To thicken the mixture slightly or make it a little bit more creamy, you could also add some cornstarch diluted in water. And finally, to top it off, we are throwing some fresh basil leaves in. I serve this with some tagliatelle, but you could also have it with rice or garlic bread or whatever carb of your choosing. For another quick little sandwich filling, we've got a Coronation of sorts chickpea baguette. I'm not really sure if I can call it Coronation because I didn't use any sultanas, but I'm really not a fan of using fruit in food, so for me, it's a pass. Here we'll combine some vegan mayo with mango chutney, curry powder, turmeric and cinnamon before adding in our chickpeas. I had this on a baguette with some lettuce, coriander and salted peanuts. And this is also where I gave up filming the whole ordeal because nothing really wanted to stay in the baguette. This makes for a messy but tasty lunch. our fourth recipe, we have got a take on butter chicken, namely butter chickpeas, but without using any actual butter. This was another nice and hearty meal moving into the cooler months. To start, we are going to saute an onion and then add some garlic and ginger. Then we'll pour in this little mountain of spices consisting of cumin, coriander, turmeric, salt, curry powder, garam masala, smoked paprika, cinnamon, as well as 2 bay leaves. Once this is fragrant, we're adding in some tomato paste, 2 cans worth of chopped tomatoes, and a splash of water. After this has bubbled away for a couple of minutes, we'll fish out those bay leaves and add in a very generous serving of nutritional yeast. Whilst this is simmering away, we will combine some soaked and softened cashew nuts, lemon juice, silken tofu, salt and water in a food processor and blend until smooth. We'll then pour half of this mixture into our tomato base along with 2 cans worth of chickpeas. Once this is ready, you can serve it on a bed of rice with some naan, some fresh herbs, and little blobs of the remaining cashew cream. With our next 2 tubs, we're going to make some sticky sesame chickpeas. This is yet another super quick meal to throw together whilst you've got some rice cooking on the side. So to start, we will saute some minced garlic for a couple of minutes, then adding in some soy sauce, sesame oil, vegetable broth, rice vinegar, agave syrup, ground ginger, a bit of chili flakes, followed by some cornstarch diluted in a little bit more veggie broth. Once this has all started to bubble, we will add in our chickpeas and just stir them around to coat them. This goes really well with just some rice and steamed broccoli for a simple but satisfying meal. Last but not least, we are making these broccoli and chickpea burritos. This is another very low effort meal, perfect for prepping. On a sheet-lined pan, we will combine onion, red pepper and broccoli, all cut into about a chickpea size, and then, of course, our chickpeas. Then we're adding some olive oil, soy sauce, a mix of cumin, coriander, smoked paprika and chili flakes, and giving this all a good stir before popping it in the oven to roast for 20 minutes. Then we will add some minced garlic and give it all another shuffle before putting it back in the oven to roast for another 15. You can then serve this with whatever burrito fillings that you enjoy. I put some salsa, coriander, avocado and spinach in mine. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to compare a few of these recipes that we have created with their meat equivalent, if you will. So I've just googled and picked the first recipe that came up and then tried to find the cheapest supermarket alternative, and this is what I found. It doesn't start off too bad. We have a tin of tuna, which is 55p, versus 1 can's worth of our dried chickpeas. So that is a 24p difference. And the next for a classic burrito filling, beef mince, 500 grams is £3.50, whereas 2 cans worth of our chickpeas would be 62p. So that is a difference of £2.88. And then finally, if you wanted to make the original Marry Me chicken, that calls for 4 chicken breasts, and that is roughly £4.74, versus again 3 cups of our chickpeas, again at 62p. So this one is a whole £4.12 difference. That's pretty wild. Like, if you think of the amount of money you could save in a month just choosing chickpeas instead. So in total, out of our 1 kilogram bag of dried chickpeas, we have gotten 24 servings of food. The next couple of months, I'm hoping to work my way through another couple of these. So like, how many meals can we get from 1 kilogram of dried lentils or TVP mince? So if you enjoyed this video, I'd very much appreciate it if you wanted to give it a like. And as always, thank you so much for watching.